The Big Voice. KWTN 100.9 FM. Nebraska. The official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.
All right, we should be getting, yeah, we're good now.
Okay, all right. So my plan worked. So for those folks that are just joining us, once again, we're going to take two on today's Winnebago Talk. Let us know. That's what we're implying is, can you hear us? Because we did a whole episode and we were laughing and we were, joking around and everything, but they can hear us now.
Yes, yep.
Okay. Garan Coons, Communications Officer for the Winnebago Tribe. Welcome, everybody, to Winnebago Talks. I am joined in the studio by...
Hello, everybody. Take two. I am DJ Bethani, Bethany Redhorn, the Communications Office Manager, and I hope everybody's having a beautiful day.
Also,
good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Chamberlain, editor for the Winnebago Indian News and MCBKC when it comes to KWTN 100.9 FM.
And...
Good morning, everybody.
Wait, let me hold up.
Testing 1, 2.
Try it again.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Taylor Snake, the Winnebago Indian News Office Circulation Manager.
Yeah, like we were saying here, but our mouths are just moving, is that we had all the equipment out there for last Bear Moon.
Yes.
So that's why we were doing some testing. We're dialing our settings and stuff. It's a little rough going, but nonetheless, we got a lot of information.
We almost had it.
Oh, we don't have it?
No, I'm saying we're good. I'm just saying we almost had it. Cameras, everything was good. Mics are good. It's just plugging in that audio into the back. That's all.
And we're back live. Okay, we got a whole slew, a whole heap, and a whole plethora of information. We're going to get right into it, guys. We got an election coming up. We're going to talk about that here momentarily. And that election is a mail-by-ballot election, and it's regarding the water and the sewer ownership. All right, so right now the village of Winnebago, and then you have the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. The Winnebago Tribe is, what they want to do is they want to make sure that they have the ability to kind of the ownership of it for the water. And there's some information. There's a sample ballot that is going to be up There's also a information on the Winnebago Tribe's website, and then there's a kind of like who, what, when, where, how information. Do you have that graphic there, Bethany, that you can probably pull up and we can read off of it? But I don't know, Brian, if you have any information that you want to make mention of that. I know that it's a mail by...
It is a ballot by mail.
Yeah.
Yes, and what it is the Village of Winnebago is an entity and an organization under the state of Nebraska. It is not a tribal entity, as the Winnebago Tribe, of course, is. The Winnebago Tribe is the Winnebago people, the government representing our tribal members, etc. But the Village of Winnebago is, for lack of a better phrase, an incorporated entity of the state of Nebraska. And as such, it has traditionally held control and responsibility for all of the water utilities for the village area of Winnebago. And so there are corporate limits for the Village of Winnebago. And so anyone who is a registered voter who lives within the corporate limits of Winnebago will and should have received a ballot in their mailboxes by now, because you only have a certain amount of days with which to vote and return that ballot back to the clerk for the Thurston County offices over in Pender, so that your vote can be counted. So essentially the question, of course, is, shall the Village of Winnebago turn the water resources, so meaning the water that comes into the homes and businesses, etc., the sewer, etc., all that kind of stuff, shall the village turn that water resource over to the tribe of Winnebago? Yes or no? It is a simple question. There's not a lot of, him and haw back and forth. Do you want the village to give it to the tribe or not? The thing that may be a little confusing with that is people are thinking that this is reservation wide. It is not. Only the village residents are eligible to vote in this. So if you don't live within the corporate limits of the Village of Winnebago, you will not receive a ballot, nor will you be asked the question. So if you do have relatives that do basically, quote unquote, live in town, make sure that they vote, make sure that they get their ballot returned in time, because that question has been on deck with the tribe for a number of years now, and is finally at the point of decision.
Nice. Thank you for that explanation. And there's a whole lot of information. It's a simple vote yes or vote no. And if you vote yes, it says, I vote yes for authorizing the Village of Winnebago to transfer the ownership of the water treatment plant, lagoon system, and water tower, and the responsibility for the operation of the village water and sewer system to the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska.
Yep.
Or you can have the option of I vote no for authorizing Village of Winnebago Tribe or Village of Winnebago to transfer the ownership of the water treatment plant, lagoon system, and water tower, and registered to vote has passed.
Yes.
We posted that on our Facebook. We also have this information in the upcoming Winnebago Indian News, and it has been posted in the last issue as well.
Yes.
So if you guys have any questions, maybe put it in the chat, because it's very important. And the return ballot deadline, voted ballot sealed in the completed identification envelope and completed in accordance with the instructions provided with the ballot, must be delivered by mail, in person, or by the agent to the Thurston County Election Commissioner's office located in Pender, Nebraska. So you have three options. Or you can place it in an official ballot drop box, and it must be received no later than 5 p.m. on March 11th, 2025.
Yes, so again, the deadline is fast approaching. The ballots should have been in your mailboxes already. I got mine because I do live in the Village of Winnebago. And so make sure that anyone that you know that does live within the corporate limits of the village gets their ballot out of their mailbox, marks yes or no depending on how they want to vote, and get it turned back into the clerk for the Thurston County offices in time, because if you don't meet the deadline, your vote is going to be wasted. And again, this is not reservation wide. And the question again comes back to, shall the village turn the water resources over to the tribe, yes or no? The language is a bit more verbose than that, but that's basically what they're asking. Because as you know, the Winnebago tribe does operate its own water system. So if you live outside of Winnebago, like out in the the BIA area out toward the Powwow grounds, as well as some other areas, you probably get a bill from the tribe and you pay the tribe. So now what they're asking is, should the tribe take over the whole thing? Yes or no?
Very simple. And as always here, we did get out the native vote, and we implore everybody to exercise your right, because that is your voice.
Yes.
So make sure you vote, whatever, if it's yes or no. Here at the Big Voice, we just want to make sure that everybody, we want 100% return on those ballots, if you can, if that's possible.
It's been a long, arduous legal battle back and forth, et cetera, and stuff. And of course, people will have their comments one way or the other, but it's past that point now. It's the point of decision. It's in the voters' hands, and so everyone who lives in the village gets to decide should they turn it over or not. I know we're saying it over and over again, but we really want to hammer home the point. That is the question being asked. Should the village give it to the tribe? And it's up to you to decide yes or no. And unfortunately, it is not reservation-wide. It is village residents only, but you only have until the deadline date to get that turned back in to make sure your votes count.
Thank you, guys. Any questions came through or anything like that? Clear as day.
Let's see here. Yep, clear as day. Someone's saying no sound, but we have our
Again? Because it was on for
from
me.
YouTube.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm on Facebook, so.
Can you go check YouTube? Kevin's usually the one that helps us on out and stuff, Like, again, we said we had all this equipment over at last Bear Moon Powwow, which we were going to talk about here a little bit later on. But we're still trying to make sure that our sound's coming through and everything's good to go. So we're just
Check
doing
on
it.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's coming through.
Okay, all right, cool.
Maybe as an old message or whatever. So, yeah, so of course, the village water issue seems to be kind of the most primary or immediate thing, simply because the deadline is fast approaching. Pay attention to what's on the ballot. It's a real simple thing. Just like what you do in normal elections, you simply fill in the circle or the oval or whatever, put it back in the envelope, postage paid, or take it over to Pender. It's up to you. Just get your vote turned in and stuff like that. But with that being said, the Winnebago Indian News, we're currently in print week. So if you have something that you want to see in the Winnebago Indian News and you have not already got a hold of myself or Tyler, you have until the end of today to get that done. Tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com, Brian.Chamberlain at winnebagotribe.com, and we will do our level best to make sure what you have is put into there. There's some information that's going to be coming. The Winnebago Indian News adheres to its letters submission policy. I want to make that absolutely clear again. Letters that are submitted, letters to the editor, opinion pieces, etc. We take those and we will print those, especially from tribal members, when they are signed. And they are all signed. It's not something that we make up. It's not something that we add, but we want to make that clear because some of that's going to be coming around recently again. And we want to make sure everybody knows any letters that are letters to the editor, etc., that are submitted, they are signed by the person who submitted them. They are not from the staff here. They are not the opinion of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. They are the opinions of the tribal membership.
And that's by right.
Absolutely. That's been a long-standing policy for as far back as I can remember. So, of course, in print week and last time around, we did a 2024 year in review. Pulled out some of the bigger stories from the last 12 months. Of course, probably the largest one was #LandBack, where Auntie Deb and Auntie Cherise got together and they shook hands, and the land on the other side of the Missouri River was finally returned to the Winnebago tribe after it was illegally taken by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers way back over 50 years ago.
We had some help from the senators too. Deb Fisher,
Auntie
and then,
Deb, that's I said, Auntie.
Congressman Feastra from Iowa also was.
Ziteka? No.
They're going to be having a celebration that's going to be planned and stuff. There's still some legalities and there's some things like that, but once that ownership or the title comes and stuff, that's when we're going to go over there and celebrate. We'd like to invite all the Winnebago tribal members and nations to come on and join us when that time comes. More information forthcoming. Absolutely. Tyler, what you got here? We got some guests that we want to get to, and so we've got a lot of things, but go for it.
Just a reminder, as Brian was saying, it is our print week, so if anybody has any future content to share or they want their newspaper address updated or added, just let me know. Email me at tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com.
Okay.
And then for the past bits in our last issue, I kind of talked about Little Priest most recent remodel of their Elk Dorm auditorium. They got a lot of new updates in there. It's pretty aesthetic now.
Yeah, the auditorium looks
Yeah.
awesome.
They got new ramps, wheelchair access, rails, tile flooring, just an overall revamp of the room.
Cool.
Pretty
Awesome.
exciting. They have a lot of events there, so that's good. And then most recently, January 29th, the Tribal Council had and WTN administrators hosted a breakfast with council.
Cool.
It's pretty good. It talked about the local construction going on around town and, you know, future plans, etc.
Yeah.
It's a good recap of everything. going on.
Yeah, and then also if you have an opportunity, make sure you check out the Winnebago Tribe's Facebook page. They have a construction project of the week, and they did the EMS building. They also did the Human Services and Workforce Development building. That's the most northward project that we got going on. And then the one that I didn't really know about and I appreciate it is that roads building, the tribal roads.
Yeah, their warehouse.
Yeah, that was really cool. I never got to see it because it's kind of tucked away a little bit, but it's very nice. And
The roads department lives in Hidden Valley. So, yeah.
Long overdue for a new building.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
but alrighty, thank you very much for those bagel bits, and then also helping us explain that election coming
Sure,
up.
absolutely. And of course, get ready, guys, because the answer has a 2-week hiatus, Fury.
Oh, okay.
So get ready. And
Do we get a hint?
just be ready.
Just be ready. Okay.
Let me say it. You were warned.
All right, we look forward to that one as we're going to be inviting our next guest on up here. And this is the Sioux City Bandits, working with our good friend from Ho Chunk Community Impact Engagement Team. That
Yes.
is Beto, Mr. Cleveland, is going to be joining us here. And I believe we got some of the gentlemen here that play with them, and looking forward to that. But in the meantime, while they get set up and I get the information, we do have a 911 event going on. Can you tell them about that?
yeah, so there's an event happening at the Blackhawk Center Gym, and so that is a 911 Winnebago community event, and from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. They have the, let's see here, entire community address updates provided. So they do have some door prizes, and participation is required, and just kind of, what is it?
Yeah, so you can go down there if you need to update your address or find out if your address is going to be updated, because that affects a lot of different things. That's where your mail gets sent, your bills. So they have the utilities department down there. They have physical resources down there.
Yes.
They have the police department down there. Let's say, for example, you're called and you have an emergency at your home. And what we're trying to do is make sure that it's unison, because in the past, a lot of Winnebago tribal community members know and residents know they get called out, and sometimes the PD, they get referred here, so they're not from here. You know, hey, it's by my house. I live by Little Priest Tribal College. Well, a person that's never been here, and maybe a police officer that's trying to respond to an emergency,
Yep.
they might not know where you live, and it's going to take them an extra long time, especially in an emergency situation. You want to make sure time is not on your side. You need to
Yep.
get there as fast as you can.
Yes.
So it's very important, and this is for the 911. So if you dial 911 or anything like that and say, hey, you know, everybody knows where I live, come on over. Got to make sure you get that information, and that information is being presented. Now,
Yep.
here's another update that we want to provide, is that if you can't make it today, there were some comments on there that's like, we're working and we're out of town and we're not going to be able to make it and stuff, but they're going to have another one on March 11th. Now, let's say you can't make that one on March 11th either. You can talk to Irita or Autumn at Physical Resources, and they can get you that information. So we want to make sure that we blast that loud and clear. And if you guys can share that with your relatives, that I wasn't able to make it today, I ain't going to be able to make it on March 11th, but Autumn and Irita, they're on the webpage.
Yes.
They're here at the physical. They're our neighbors upstairs, you know, so it's good to go. But yeah, I just want to make mention of that. Thank you for that information, as we like to invite our guests into the studio here. And I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. We'll start on over here, and we'll just make our way to the left. Or do you want to?
Yeah, I could start off.
Yeah, okay. All right, go for it.
All right, so for the viewers and listeners out there, My name's Caden Cleveland. I work for Whole Chunk Inc. I'm the Community Programs Coordinator, Winnebago Tribal member, went to school in Winnebago Public School, class of 2018, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. And then we also have...
Hi, I'm Brett Funk. I'm the president of the Sioux City Bandits. So I worked with Caden, who helped me bring this community night, and we're excited to do it for the 3rd year.
Nice to meet you, Brett. Thank you for coming, joining us. We also have...
My name is Sterling Clark. This is my 2nd year playing for the Sioux City Bandits. I play offensive line. Definitely excited to come on here and talk about the upcoming season.
Awesome. So let's talk about the event that's coming up, and then let's talk about why we should go watch the Bandits and stuff. So, Caden, when do we got coming up?
Yeah, so on March 29th, which is a Saturday, we have the Winnebago Community Night, and that is starting at 7:10 p.m. Doors open at 6. For the live stream, me personally, you guys can hit me up on Facebook or call my cell phone, which is 402-922-3487, or give me an email. At my email is ccleveland@hochunkinc.com.
Very simple.
And then for the viewers on the live stream, this is what I'll be handing out. I got white vouchers, and this is for the community members. And I want to make mention, if you're grabbing some for your kids, the WPS and St. Augustine's all got vouchers, so all the kids are all secured away.
Awesome, cool. Can I check that out now?
Yep.
Alrighty. So make sure you guys get your voucher. You guys did this last year, and you guys had a great turnout. Kind of recap. I know a lot of Winnebago community members never attended a Bandits game. And how much does it cost to get a voucher? I mean, do we got to pay you like $50 or anything like that, or
Just your time.
just your time?
Yep.
Okay, so free. So bring the family. Bring the family, right?
Yep.
Brett, appreciate you coming on, and then tell us how you guys doing this year.
Yeah, so we're just getting started. We kick off this Saturday. We got 15 out of 16 starters back, so
Nice.
It's going to be an exciting season. Definitely going for a championship this year. Coming up just 1 point short and double overtime last year. And we're excited to bring this community night back for the 3rd straight year. Always great feedback. We've had teams reach out from Texas and Nebraska and ask about the success of it, because it's been talked about as something they haven't seen in the indoor football arena before. So everybody just thinks of how cool it is to have something so unique and to kind of share that culture with so many people that don't normally experience it.
Right. Definitely. I got a story for you guys. I got a Bandit shirt on in here. It says staff, so I'll tell that story here momentarily. But do you want to introduce? Is it the marketing department or something? Is the gentleman back here?
So that is Mitch. He helps me out and does some video, and he's been actually here longer than I have. So
cool.
He helps with the coaching side of things, and he helps them at practice with the huddle and making sure that they're all taken care of and can be their best on the field.
Nice, man. Awesome. So, real quick here, if you never attended an arena football game, and you see a lot of people kind of equate it to NFL or high school games, we do some live streaming on high school games and stuff, but what's the difference?
So one of the big differences is the field is half the width and half the length, so it's so much faster. And there's guys that have gone into the pros, and Fred Jackson's the biggest name out of Sioux City that's been there. He played here, kind of in between. He played at Coe College, which is here in Iowa. Then had some chances, and then came and played for us, and that led to him going to the Buffalo Bills, where he's 3rd all-time leading rusher behind 2 Hall of Famers.
Dang.
And one of the things that he always says is the NFL's easy because nothing hits as hard as those walls. So there's pads all around the arena, and these guys get full tackled into them. It's fast. There's only 3 linemen. So
you guys ever? There's a game that came out when I was in high school. It's called NFL Blitz.
Yeah,
it's almost because you can throw it from like all the way across, and it is awesome. We wanted to, you're a lineman, and we have a lot of aspiring football players in Winnebago, and I think that's why it's a good connection, because our team, we got runner-up, and we won the championship, and everything. So you being a lineman, what do you like about being in the Bandits?
I'm about to say, when I think about the one thing I would say for sure about being a part of the Bandits is it's a very, very family-oriented organization. Like, I literally tell everybody that the reason why I came back out here is because I literally went through so much trial and tribulation with these group of guys last year. I just was like, man, we grew so much and bonded so much together. It was a no-brainer for me to run it back and sign back this year.
Nice. And where are you originally from?
Oh, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we just got a good question and stuff, like running in, is there any tribes or any Native Americans that you ran into or anything like that?
I will say when I was living in Bismarck, North Dakota, when I played for the Bismarck Bucks, there was a lot of natives that I would run into and all that as well. But then coming out here as well, seeing that as well, I'm like, man, so it's definitely good to see different cultures and see different backgrounds and all that good stuff.
We're very proud of that. We have the most adorned, famous Native athlete ever, and that's Jim Thorpe. And a lot of people kind of, when they say, hey, do we know any famous Native Americans and stuff, Jim Thorpe is the one who comes to mind, man. All-around athlete and just doing a wonderful job, man. So this is your first season, or?
This is my second season.
Second season. How did your season go last year?
I mean, season one last year, it started off with a little bit of adversity. I ended up being in the hospital for like a week.
You did? Wow.
I know, it was crazy. But got through that, then ended up playing through all the games. We waited to the championship game, like Brett said. We lost by a point, which was terrible, which sucked. I mean, it happened in Omaha.
Wow.
But
yeah.
It builds a lot of character, and we're going to finish the job this year.
Nice. So do you guys have like tryouts, or like how'd you get on the team?
How did I get on the team? So our defensive coordinator, Marlon Loban, who's also our recruit coordinator, he reached out to me and said, I've really been watching you for a while, been really liking what I see. Would you be interested in coming out here to Sioux City Bandits? I said, let me talk to you. Let me talk to my peoples and get back to you. Talk to my mom, talk to my sister. They said it sounds like a good idea. Got back with Marlon, then signed the contract, and here I am.
Nice. Well, we wish you the best of luck of the season.
I appreciate
think
that.
it's important that you share the words. I know that Caden, I think, was going to be meeting with some of the teams, and then also maybe the high school, doing some presentations. You guys did it before.
Yes, we did.
And some of those young ones still remember the words that you said and stuff. I remember the assemblies that came, and thank you for taking the time out to join us here today and stuff, So my story with the Bandits, there was a floor MC, and I went and met with the lady that was the coordinator. But at the time, the mayor, he was kind of the owner and stuff. So you're the owner, right?
No, I just do day-to-day operations, sales and marketing.
Okay, so do you guys got a new owner, or is it still?
Yes, his name's Don Belson.
Yep. And it was before him. So the previous owner, and he was Bob Scott.
Yep.
He was the owner, and he said, come in for addition. And they had Woody. He was the kind of the announced the players' names and everything. But I had it was fun because I got to run the activities on the floor and everything. And man, yeah, I would say you guys are very family orientated. There's a lot of fans in the Siouxland area that really appreciate you, that really follow you guys. I worked with Moose Cannon and from Kiss, or is that no? What is that?
102.3.
Yep. And did an excellent job. I had fun doing it and stuff. You know what I mean? And just kind of got to MC some of those activities, and then you guys were really good too. And you guys are still good. I don't think a lot of people appreciate that, is because you guys are always contenders.
Yes, we're always contenders. We always have a shot at the playoffs. We typically go to the playoffs, and it's been too long since we've finished it, but I think this is going to be the year. We went out, we brought some familiar faces back. LV, for one, he played some other places, and his speech at our opening night, he came back because of how valued he feels at the organization.
Yeah.
And he knew that it was a special year. He knew that everybody had one goal in mind, to win a championship. And that's why he's here. That's why all these guys are here. They have that common goal, and to have 15 out of 16 of the starters back, the plays and everything that they're able to start off with in day one is incredible.
Wow.
One of the big things people don't know about these linemen, you'll see them hold up their hand when they're going up to the line, and most people have no idea what they're doing. That means they're calling in eligible. These guys can catch passes in the end zone. So
cool.
There's some fun plays that you can do there. They can catch passes. So that's the cool thing about arena. There's just so many moving parts. You'll see the receivers start about 10 yards back.
Yeah.
And they start on a full running speed. So
It's pretty cool.
So they cross, they, straight down the field, cross. You don't know where that ball's going.
Was you able to attend?
I was not. No, I didn't get to.
Yeah. And then if you have an opportunity, let them know what's going to take place during halftime.
Yeah, so at halftime of March 29th, we have a cultural event, performances by a few Winnebago youth dancers, along with drum groups of New Breed and Grey Wolf.
Thank you for including that culture and part of your guys' game. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of times we get stereotyped, we get misconceptions and everything too. So when we perform our dances and see some of that music and everything, we get really pumped up. So if you have an opportunity, tell the young ones, tell your family, tell from the elders on down to make sure you grab a voucher from Caden.
Yeah, and then I want to make mention that if you're interested in doing the halftime performance, get a hold of Christine Earth. She's on Facebook. A lot of people know how to get a hold of her, so she's the one coordinating the dancers.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
That's one of the things that I would add is when we say we're family oriented, we mean all families. We mean all of our communities. I think, we try to reach outside of Sioux City to all of our little communities because they all matter to us. And
Yeah.
we like reaching out to the youth because those are the kids that are playing. Those are the future bandits. Those are people that are going to be fans. So
Yeah.
we just love doing stuff like this. And it really has spread. Like I said, I've gotten, how did you guys pull that off? How did you do that? We want
Yeah.
to do that here. And that was from across the country, which is really cool to see that talked about.
The Spartans. Where are the Spartans from?
The Spartans are from Colorado, I believe, in Greenwood, Colorado.
Okay. All right.
I
So
don't know if that's correct, but I know they're definitely from Colorado, though, for sure.
your rivalry game, because we have one kind of, we have, in-state rivalries and all that stuff, but your guys is with what, Omaha Beef? Is that still true?
Yep, longest running rivalry. Us and Omaha are the two longest running professional indoor football teams in the country.
How is that when you guys approach that game?
Oh, it's just, you approach it like any other game, but everybody knows it's going to be a little extra chippy, a little bit of extra emotions. Definitely a very high, intense game, but definitely a good game for sure.
I got a question to ask each and every one of you because we can't decide here at the Big Voice and stuff, but Super Bowl halftime performance, the greatest of all time. I got to go with Michael Jackson. Hers is, who is it?
It's
The
Mr.
Weeknd?
Abel Tesfaye. Yes.
Caden, all time, Super
Mine-
Bowl.
Well, from the ones I've seen, I would say the one when the Rams and Bengals did theirs.
Who was it?
It was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50
Oh,
Cent. They
yes.
were all on there.
Brett,
I have no idea.
really? You don't mess around with the Super Bowl, huh?
I watch it, but I've never put that much thought into it.
Okay, you got to break it up here.
Okay, I'm gonna say this: the most controversial one probably was the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake one. I remember that one vividly. I was at my aunt's house watching that one. That was crazy. That was definitely, if social media was how it is now, that would have been crazy. But I definitely probably would say the Rams versus the Bengals. As I said, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Diehard Bengals fan. I'm sorry that we lost the game, but that halftime show was everything.
Yes, man. All right, so we got two. Definitely. I just remembered Michael Jackson. He just stood there. The dude just stood there for 2 minutes straight. Could you imagine, like, everybody would tune off and stuff like that? That would be so controversial and stuff, but he just stood there and let people scream, and then he let it simmer, and then he got into his show. Anyways, any shout-outs or anything like that before we let you guys go?
I want to give a shout out to my mom because I know she's watching right now. Give a shout out to my sister. Give a shout out to all the boys on the squad. Shout out to the West Scout boys. Shout out to my boy Will. Shout out to my boy Uwe.
Yeah.
Shout out to Verlon. Let's see. Shout out to all the boys back at the crib. They know who they is. Shout out to Cincinnati. I know I'm always putting on. And shout out to Pops. You know you always with me, Pops. Love you, man.
I just want to say thank you to everybody, all of our fans, anybody that has taken their time to come see the Bandits, and all these players that donate. They get paid, but they,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of work to be
Yeah.
here. A lot of these guys have jobs.
Yep.
Even during the season where they're working 40 plus hours, they practice at night. So I appreciate everybody that puts their heart and soul into this organization.
For me, I would give a shout out to the Winnebago community. As a youth, just growing up, they always try to give back to me as a youth. So, like in this position where I am at right now, gives me an opportunity to give back to my community. Just this whole event is just basically getting us interacting, just get us away from like all the thing that's going on within our community.
Yeah.
A lot of people may know what that is, so it just gets us out to enjoy family time.
We'll go ahead and request them to come to the Big Boy Sports Show. Let them know when it is and see if we can get somebody.
Yeah, so we have two hosts for a show that we do every other Wednesday. It's called the Big Boy Sports Talk Show.
Okay.
And it's live at 5 Wednesdays. So we'll have a new episode coming tomorrow, but we would definitely love for you guys to come and join
Yeah, yeah, if you guys
Coach
come
Q
down.
and B-Love. And it's about an hour from 5 to 6 p.m. And we go live on Facebook, YouTube, and they talk about all the local sports and just cover everything that
absolutely.
needs to be covered in the
Yes,
sports.
I know you guys practice in the evening and stuff, but maybe if you could send somebody down and stuff, you know what I mean? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got more
absolutely.
in depth, you know what I mean? We have a lot of football fans out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I wouldn't mind coming on here, talking a little bit of sports with y'all for school.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure, man. We would appreciate that. Yep. Okay, guys. Well, I know you guys are busy. You guys got doing some rounds here in the community and everything too. So we look forward to, and hopefully we can get some vouchers up here that we can give away to maybe those that request for ARL or something.
Yeah, some of our big voicers.
Yeah, so I just want to do a breakdown again. Reach out to me for vouchers at my email, cleveland@wholechunkinc.com. My phone number is 402-922-3487. And also we have some at the front desk of the Whole Chunk Inc. corporate building.
Okay. All right, man. Nice meeting you. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
coming
Nice
down.
meeting you as well, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks so
y'all
much.
for
Brett,
having
nice
us on.
meeting you. Thanks, Caden. We appreciate it, guys.
I was about to say, appreciate y'all for having us on. Thank y'all.
Go Bandits. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I just wanted to plug in real quick as well, Garan, with the sports show that we're going to have tomorrow. We'll have some special guests stopping by with Coach Q. So I know that I mentioned we do have our sports show every other Wednesday, but tomorrow we'll be going live at 5 for the sports show, and they'll be covering our most recent state champion.
Yes.
And that's for wrestling,
History
boys
has
wrestling.
been made.
Yes. And then also, they're going to, we'll just kind of put this out there that they're going to have an exclusive interview on Friday for Mr. Carlos Trinidad Snake,
Oh,
who's going to be
man.
fighting in Dubai
Let's go.
with the bare knuckle fighting champions.
Do we got a sponsor to live stream that one?
Shoot, man, that'd be dope.
for real, that would be cool. Hey, Bethany, I'm gonna do some announcements, but can you grab Sandy and the crew
Yes.
over there? And they got an important announcement, so you guys want to make sure you stand by for that. But coming up here, we do have The Answer Is, and then we are also going to recap the last Bear Moon Winter Celebration that took place last Saturday. And so we're going to be joined here momentarily by Carla and Sandy from the Winnebago Public Health Department and the Winnebago Comprehensive Health Care System. And they have some important information that they want to get out. And I know that Sandy texted me not too long ago. And first of all, for those that never met you guys or anything like that, let's go ahead and give you guys this introduction. And we'll kind of go from there if possible. There you go. Go ahead, Carla.
Kind of like Jenga.
Give it a
Good morning,
rap.
everybody. I'm Carla Olson Griffin. I'm a public health nursing director. And
Hi, I'm Sandy Anderson. I'm with Winnebago Public Health Department with public health nursing. Been there for 25 years.
MC Sandy.
MC Sandy.
In the house, yeah. No, but we do have some important information to get out there. Public service. Appreciate you coming on up here using some big voice. And we're going to talk about measles.
Yes, yes. You know, I know that there's probably been a lot of information that has been going out in on the radio and the newspaper, on TV, regarding outbreaks of measles around the country. And one thing that we wanted to do was come on and just kind of get some general information to our public about the measles, what it means, how to identify it, the things that you can do to prevent it, and just some really basic things to just really better inform our public and educate them on what they can do and what we're doing as a health care facility,
Yeah.
and in prevention and making sure that everyone is safe.
All righty. So measles. What I mean, How do we get it? How do we prevent it? And what's the best course of action here?
I know. Well, I took a bunch of stuff off of the CDC website today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some reading because the interesting thing about measles is that we actually considered measles as a disease eradicated in the United States.
I thought so. Yeah.
Absolutely, in the year of 2000. So most of us, even as healthcare providers, have never encountered a case of measles.
Wow.
So that's kind of new for us.
Yeah.
So even as healthcare providers, we are finding that we're having to educate ourselves more and become more aware of the different signs and symptoms and information to better educate our patients and the community on the things that we're dealing with also. So
Is there an age group or something that measles is really kind of, does it affect a certain age group, or can you get it anytime?
well, any population can get it. Any age group can get it. It
Okay.
just kind of depends on whether or not you have that immunity, if you've had your vaccinations, you know, your immunity, you know,
Yeah.
altogether. I mean, because certain people can have illnesses that decrease their immunity, and that makes them more susceptible to different viruses like this, even though they may be vaccinated. So, you know, we have to be really conscious of those special populations to make sure that they know that if these different types of diseases are showing up, that they need to be extra cautious in helping to protect themselves using masks, hand washing, that sort of thing.
You
So-
sent us some pictures, and I
Yeah.
think we're going to bring some
I
up, but
did.
we'll describe it for those that are tuning in over the online. But if you can describe that one there and let us know, we got it up there on the screen.
Right. So what we're going to do is, I've got kind of a little bit of a way that we're going to do this, and pardon me in my glasses and
No, you're fine.
doing all of this. So,
Just make sure you're kind of maybe tilt
oh, I'm
your-
sorry.
Yep, there you
Yes,
go.
I can do this. Okay, too.
Regarding the mic.
Because I want to make sure that the information that we give out is accurate, and I'm just not trying to fill in the blanks. So, okay, so we kind of talked about, you know, it's been a long time since we've actually had measles as what we would consider outbreaks and stuff in the United States. Now, what we're seeing here too, which is really interesting, is that most of our outbreaks at the moment are just kind of circling us, okay? Kind of like that vulture, kind of circling the Midwest, making us more susceptible and more conscious of all the things that are going on around us. As of February 21st, 2025, they actually, you know, track this, the CDC does, and it talks about how many cases of measles have been reported. And as of the 20th, actually, 93 measles cases were reported by 8 jurisdictions or states: Alaska, California, Georgia, New Jersey, New Mexico, Nevada, New York City, Rhode Island, and Texas. And so you can kind of see where that is just really kind of circling around us. So that really kind of makes us more aware that we need to be able to protect ourselves, to be able to identify early, to put people into quarantine when necessary, and all of that. And that's kind of something that I know as a public, it can be kind of scary because we've all lived through the COVID business.
Yeah.
And
We take it
people-
serious.
Yes, we take it very seriously, and people know what it means to be, you know, in quarantine, and they know, you know, all of those things. We're not going to really talk about quarantine today because we don't need to at the moment, but we will bring more information at another date and really kind of start talking about the treatment and quarantine and really what it means as a community. But today we're going to talk about just the signs and symptoms of what parents can be looking for, or adults can be looking for when they're suspecting that it might be measles. So how measles spreads, okay? One thing that we know about measles is that it's highly contagious. I mean, it's so contagious that basically, if I like how they stated this, if you have the measles, up to 90% of the people close to you who are not immune will also become infected.
Dang.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a kiddo that's got measles walking through, let's say, a clinic area, waiting area, walks through that area, coughs or sneezes, 90% of the people that are in that area are going to get measles if they are not immune.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's something that's really kind of, scary to think about. Measles can live for up to 2 hours in the airspace or on a surface.
Wow.
So it can live for quite a while and therefore can spread quite easily for people that are coming in and out. Okay. Now there's a point of why I'm telling you all of this too, because one of the things that we really want to make sure of, parents, individuals, that if you think or suspect that your child may have measles or have been in contact with measles and you want to bring them into clinic to be seen, we would appreciate that you call the clinic beforehand, explain what you're suspecting, the symptoms, and actually alert the staff that that is what you're thinking. That way, when you come in the door, we can herd you away from the general public and bring you into a space that we can contain any kind of droplets and then specifically clean that after we're done with the examination.
Yeah.
So we are asking cooperation of parents and
Yeah.
people that they give us that heads up, that alert, so that we can keep everybody around you safe, and that includes staff. Not just people in the waiting area, but other people that are working in the hospital.
So are you saying, and maybe Carla, it's not a matter of we're not going to get it. It's a matter of time. We are probably going to have some cases, you think?
Well, one of the things we want for prevention is to promote vaccination.
Okay.
So if you have children, if you think you have questions, you can call the clinic and see if they're up to date on their MMR.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the main things with this is we need a vaccination rate of 95% for herd immunity. So that's why we're promoting it, because vaccines make it preventable. That's why we got to that 2,000.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm not in charge of my young ones' vaccination cards and stuff. You know what I mean? So I hope, is it standard? Because I know that my kids, they get their shots, you know what I mean, and everything. And I think they said they were up to date, because everybody has to do a physical
Yeah.
before they
Yep.
go to school.
And
Right.
usually are up to date then.
And so, okay, you think?
Well, you better just, check them out.
Yeah,
and
okay.
see. Yep.
All right,
Yep,
so just
be
call you
safe.
guys and just say, hey, did little Callie, did she get her measles
Right.
shot? Okay,
right.
all right.
And most people that if they are either in a Head Start or school, preschool, they've had to already have given that information to the school,
Okay.
which shows that they have had their MMRs, okay, or
Okay.
the measles, mumps, and rubella
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
So, most people are immunized, but we do have many people who may choose not to immunize their children.
Yep.
That may not have those immunizations.
Okay.
So, and I would say, and those people know who they are.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise to them that maybe their child has not been immunized. That's a choice that they're given at the child appointments and checkups. Okay. So, the only case that I can think of is that, in a foster parent, situation or a child that you're not familiar with that is being placed with you, that you may not know that full medical history.
Yeah.
So you really, have to do a little investigation if that comes, if it comes to that.
So
But-
the things that I'm taking away is, if you are suspecting that it might be measles, call ahead
yes.
for the safety, and then everything for the hospital and everything too. And then check your cards, and then your
Right.
young ones' cards and everything too, because I know that I'm up to date on the flu shot and everything too, but I just want to make sure that, all the young ones are, that's who I really kind of want to make sure. And then even our elders, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yep.
check with them, and
Absolutely.
I think also, if we have an opportunity, just call you guys, right? I mean,
Right.
if
Yeah.
there's anything else. But we're going to show some pictures here.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so we got this one here. It looks like of a throat, and there's kind of like little red spots.
Okay. So really what we're looking at here is there's a certain progression that that rubeola goes through, okay, or measles. And what we we're just going to start at the start there. Symptoms usually begin 7 to 14 days after infection. So once you've been infected, that is when you start seeing symptoms. All right. Now, the thing is too is that you may not the symptoms that you get right off the bat may not alert you that you have measles, because a lot of different diseases and viruses have these same symptoms. One being a high fever, okay? And when we're talking high fever, we're talking probably 103, 104, that type of a fever. They have a cough, runny nose, red, watery eyes. Now, when you think about those symptoms, you're thinking, well, that could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's usually what you're going to see initially. Okay. Now, 2 to 3 days after the symptoms begin, we get what they call Koplik spots. All right. Now, go back to the mouth shot. Okay. All right, so it's really hard to see in some of these, but what you'll see is there's going to be tiny white spots,
Okay.
or those Koplik spots that appear on the inside of the mouth, and this appears 2 to 3 days after the symptoms begin. All right, so that's when we start narrowing down what this could possibly be. Okay. Because when we're looking at diagnosing, we're looking at what they call differential diagnosing, which means that some of these different diseases really appear the same right off the bat, but as they progress, they start to be able to see what the differences are. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is what we're looking at 2 to 3 days after the symptoms begin. You might start seeing little white spots or kind of look like little white pimples inside the mouth. Okay. And I would probably say that that's probably where most parents are going to identify if they're listening to us now and they're listening to what different symptoms. That's what they're going to be going, oh my gosh, I've got little white spots in my kid's mouth. And your next call should be the clinic at that point. Okay. Okay. So 3 to 5 days after the symptoms begin, that's when you're going to see that rash. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking at the rash on the face and then on the chest, I sent you those 2 pictures. That's when you're going to start seeing that that reddish macular rash. Okay. It'll start eventually start on the face or around the hairline, and then it gradually moves down to the rest of the body. All right.
Is it itchy?
It could be itchy, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Excuse me. All right. So, and according to this one, I'm going to just go ahead and read it because it has a lot more information. Measles rash appears 3 to 5 days after the first symptoms. It usually begins as flat red spots that appear on the face at the hairline. They then spread down to the neck, trunk, arms, legs, and feet. Small raised bumps may also appear at the top of the flat red spot, so it may be kind of bumpy. The spots may become joined together as they spread from the head to the rest of the body. So it may look like they just kind of all connect. All right? When the rash appears, a person's fever may spike to more than 104 degrees. All right? So basically, let's make sure we've got some Tylenol on hand at home, too. All right? Common complications of measles could be ear infections or diarrhea. All right. And then if we're looking at people who are most at risk, measles can be serious in all age groups. However, there are several groups that are more likely to suffer from measles complications, and that is children under the age of 5, older adults older than 20, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems. And I think we kind of went over that a little bit. So we really want to prevent anybody getting those complications. And I think by early identification and treatment and containment, we can prevent that from being more of a large cluster of people that are being affected by that. So.
Man, that's a lot of information,
Yes,
but
it is.
It's a lot of preventive information, and then
Yes.
just identifying what it's going to look like, and my little guy last night, he had growing pains, they call
Oh,
it
yeah.
and stuff, you know, and I was like, are you sure it's growing pain? You know, so if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to the Winnebago Public Health Department.
Right.
Well, how can we get a hold of you guys?
Right. Actually, you know what? I don't ever call myself. Do you know the main
Main line,
hospital
yeah.
line?
Just call the main line at the hospital.
Which is
402
new.
Yeah, 402-745-3950.
Yep.
And
yep.
ask for us.
That is a new number and stuff,
Yeah,
you know.
it
And then
is.
they do also have a Facebook page. It's the Winnebago Comprehensive Healthcare System.
Yes.
And a lot of the information is posted on there as well.
Right.
Thank you, Sandy.
You bet.
Thank you, Carla,
Thank
for
you.
coming on up and giving this information. And we
Thank
will
you.
also get this posted. And yeah, if you guys can keep up those vaccinations,
Yeah.
go make sure you make your appointments and get those checkups to our young ones and to our elders. And then, like you said, those that are expecting and
Right.
those that have maybe some compromised immune system. So any questions for them or anything come through?
No, and then looking like we don't have any questions, but just want to keep an eye out and then maybe check on those vaccinations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, the first vaccination that you can get for the MMR is at a year old. Okay, so you know you can get that immunity quite early
Yeah.
in life. So parents, if you're getting delayed on those immunizations, I really encourage you to call the hospital, make an appointment, get your kids in, get them up to date on their immunizations. That is probably the best thing that you can do for your child is to make sure that they are immunized.
Yep.
I know that March is just around the corner, and we would like to speak to your nutrition. So whoever you have on staff down there, have them come up next Tuesday and stuff, you know, because it's National Nutrition Month.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We'll have
So-
to pass that along.
Yep.
If you guys can help us
Absolutely.
on
Yep.
out, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We're trying to maintain our healthy and get this education. Winnebago Talks, so we're trying to talk about everything
Yes.
Winnebago and stuff too.
Yep.
But
Right. Yep.
again, thank you ladies
Yep,
for coming
you
on
bet.
up.
Thank you.
And we'll be contacting you here in the future too, just to kind of update you. Remember our When She Speaks Listen
Yes.
and Hear Her grant? We were actually just given the second round of that grant.
Yeah.
So we're going to be
Awesome.
doing some more education and some more things, activities and things for the community, and just really getting that word out and spreading the word. So
Well, good job,
yeah.
Sandy.
Wait, I
And,
got one more.
Yep.
Tomorrow's our Go Red event. We canceled it a
Oh.
couple weeks ago. So it's going to be at 11 o'clock at the Blackhawk Center. We're going to have a speaker at noon. And when we're done with that, we'll be giving T-shirts out when you participate
Oh,
and
okay.
partake of his information and eat a good meal with us. So we'll
Yeah.
set up some booths at 11, but the meal will be at 12. So
All right.
everybody come.
Yep. And our speaker is Dr.
Let's get
Dr.
that shared
Schindler.
if we
Yeah.
can, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Dr. Schindler will be there as our speaker.
Yes,
All right.
awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Measles.
Measles. So keyword was prevention.
I had chicken pox. You ever have chicken pox?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst, man. The worst ever. So tomorrow.
I remember taking an oatmeal bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, my goodness. You don't really see it that
Sorry,
morning.
my squirrel moment.
Oh, did you know? Let's go. Do we have one?
Might have to use my moment for my Did You Know to kind of roll out our live stream contest.
Okay.
My focus has been on that a little bit. And so we did a live stream contest during our afternoon session and as well as the evening session. So we were asking our viewers and our listeners for the best dance category,
Yep.
best dancer,
Yep.
and best drum group.
Yeah. Did we?
So-
Did we? Do we have the announcement of the winners?
Yes. So I have a few. So it literally so I'll start off with the drum groups.
Okay.
For the drum group, it came down to one vote.
Oh.
Literally.
Really?
Not just say that. But it came down
Let me see
to
if I
the
can-
wire.
Okay, so we had Grey Wolf, we had Halushka, we had New Breed. Those are our three host drums.
Yes.
And then we had three southern drums that are kind of categorized, but nowadays in powwow they all can sing. If they get a northern song, they'll take the challenge on, they'll do it. But we had Motown, Whitetail Boys, and we had Southern Boys. And then for the kind of the northern drum groups, we had Mandaree, we had Upstream, and we had Meskwaki Nation. So we had 9 drum groups.
Yes.
My guess, and this is based off of what was requested on the Spotlight special.
Yeah.
My guess is because all those dancers, they requested Meskwaki Nation. Am I right? Did I get it?
So Meskwaki Nation is definitely one of the 2 that it came down to the wire with.
Yeah.
Is Motown.
It was Motown.
Motown.
All right. Well, give them a round of applause, man. Good job. Yes. So the best viral drum group for our live stream goes to Motown. Good job, guys. All right.
And then, so we'll go into our categories.
Here's a did you know fact. Motown was our first last Bear Moon drum contest winner in 2018. So that's a did you know. But congratulations, Motown is our first contest for the live stream.
Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to interact.
And then out of the dance categories, there was a lot of them. So we had the junior, the teens, and the women's jingle. We had the junior, the teens, and the women's fancy shawl.
Yep.
We had the junior, teens, and our men's fancy feather, grass. We had woodland. We
Yeah.
had southern straight. We had whole chunk applique.
Okay.
Let's see here. We had women's woodland, right?
Yeah.
And then, but I don't want to miss any. We had the golden age all the way from the tiny tots all the way up to the golden age.
Let me try to guess based on the round of applause in the audience, because maybe the live stream didn't get to hear the applause and stuff because we did have a couple audio issues and microphone issues and stuff like that, but I think we got it. Anyways, is it woodland? That would be my guess. No. Okay. All right. The best dance category is.
So real quick, just 'cause I don't want to leave any out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through. So we had the men's golden age, men's traditional grass fancy, women's golden age, traditional jingle fancy shawl. For the adult categories, we had men's traditional grass fancy, woodland southern straight. For the women's, we had women's traditional, southern traditional, jingle fancy shawl, and woodland scrub.
Okay.
For the teen categories, we had traditional grass fancy woodland. For the teen girls, traditional jingle fancy shawl, woodland scrub. And then for junior categories, we had our traditional grass fancy woodland. And then for the girls, traditional jingle fancy shawl, woodland scrub. And
Good job.
it came down to a vote.
Oh, one vote
2
again.
votes.
Okay.
2 votes.
All right.
Fancy feather.
Fancy feather. Oh yes. They put on
So
a good show.
men's fancy feather.
And we had the world champion here, and he won first place. I think that was Mitch Baker.
Okay.
And went down. Ponca is usually the ones that it's the world known as the world championship, and came away this year. So to have his So I don't know if we can show some of those videos and stuff. You know what I mean? But I want you to take a look here. Go ahead. You got one more.
I got one
the
more.
Dancer.
Yep. So, of course, I scrubbed through, and then I was telling Guaranteed that we had some of our listeners texting the text line that we have. They were messaging the Big Voice Facebook. So it wasn't just in the comment section. They were utilizing other outlets to get a hold of us as well. And so I'm going to run through the list of the names that I pulled. And so we have Bailey Irving. We have Whitney Sage. She's the Comanche tribe of Oklahoma. We have Brittany Pelkey, Winnebago tribal member. We have William Morris. We have Jazlia White. She was with the jingle category. Romello Morris. We have Cadence Pelkey, Peyton Roberts Pelkey, T. Eagle Warrington,
Yeah.
Dora Susie Pelkey, Tiffany Warner, Wambady Claremont, Kim Big Bear, and Kinsley Benjamin. Hold on, I got a couple more. We have Hank Funmaker, Maurice Ironheart, Amory Vargas, Araya Blackfish, and Tristan Lastly. And so out of all of those, we did have one dancer receive numerous votes out of all of them.
All right.
And so that is women's applique, Brittany Pelkey.
There you have it. Good job. Give her a round of applause. Yes. She was also our champion for this last Bear Moon 2025. So, Brittany, congratulations. And thank you to all the big voicers, those that tuned in, those that shared. We requested that they share it wherever, far and wide.
Yes.
And they came with a good response. So, one of the things I wanted to make mention is that we were kind of doing some snippets of the video, so I cut down the 2 push-ups of the spotlight just to kind of we'll post this too.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. It's just like speechless. Like we need to be there. All right, we need to be there. Is like figure skating. You know what I mean? It's like they get their own segment Saturday morning on NBC, and it's beautiful. And they come and they compete for top dollar. You know, PBR, like a rodeo and stuff. You know, like we need to like, formalize, guys, and like get to the next level. We need to be on NBC or Red Bull Sports or something like that, because these guys are true athletes, dancing to the music and everything. You know what I mean? Like you go back and dancing was a free expression and stuff, but there's dance competitions. I know Olympics had the break dance competition and stuff, you know, but they got figure skating. We're there. We just need to get it together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's something for the live stream. There's something for the TV production and stuff. And I get pretty excited about it. You know, my guys, you know, like I talk about this at the studio all the time. I'm just so pumped up about it. And when I do that, I start to stutter. But anyways.
Sorry, I do the same thing. I did it when we were live if you remember, when we were broadcasting at Last Bear Moon, I kept stuttering because I was just excited.
So what we're going to show you, and hopefully it comes through, is that this should be like on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox. You know, it should be a mainstream kind of thing. And we're going to get into it. So you want to introduce that?
Yes. So do you have a preference on what we want
Fancy
to start
Shaw.
with? All right. So we're going to pull that up here. We have our Spotlight Special. And this one is see, I think we're just there. We just need to figure it on out and stuff. I mean, what you guys think? Oh man, I love it. That's like my favorite moment out of the Last Bear Moon. I love all of it, but the Spotlight Special, regardless of what category gets put under the spotlight, I look forward to that.
Brian, MCBKC, condolences to you. I know that you had a relative pass away, so you couldn't make it Last Bear Moon and stuff. But did you get to tune in or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Sharon had it on her phone, and so we saw parts of it and whatever, and so it was good. Yep.
Spotlight Special
Heck
2025 was a good time. And then there was some. I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. There were some complaints on how we went about awarding the winners. So if you didn't attend, just to recap, the last Bear Moon Celebration Committee decided that every champion in the junior and teen would compete and advance on to the Spotlight Special. There was $2,000 prize pool. $2,000. All right. So if you got first and stuff, you know, potentially you could have got $2,000, but it would have been winner take all. Only one winner.
Yep.
All right. So the committee was like, okay, we are going to. And it was tough. It was tough, man, because at the end, we turned it over to the audience. At the end, we turned it over to our viewers. What'd you guys think? You know what I mean? Like, did you guys enjoy that one, man? The likes and the hearts were just going off like crazy, and the audience was nuts. I mean, it was Saturday night, and it was crazy. I couldn't tell. Seriously, I probably got brain damage and stuff, or not, ear damage and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I was so loud in there.
I was hollering real loud in his ears too.
Yeah. And then I had So, I mean, it was fantastic. We said, how are we going to decide who advances on? And somebody said, it's a 8-way tie. So we announced that every single one of them was first place. They got an 8-way tie. It was good entertainment, man.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people agreed with that. Not a lot of people agreed with that. You know, there was some people, there was probably equal amount.
Yeah.
There was 5 people that said, you should have did it this way. And there was 5 people that said, you know, that was wonderful. And we were talking about it. What'd you say?
So I think that it was a good thing overall, like regardless of what, you know, everybody has their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But my thing and how I see it with the youth, they get discouraged real easily sometimes. You know, that just depends. Like sometimes maybe a parent like instills confidence in their child, but just to like, I don't know, look at it in a perspective of none of them walked away thinking like, oh, I wasn't number one, or oh, I didn't, you know, give it my all, so I didn't, you know, come out on top. Like they all got to be number one. So it was just like a good thing overall, and I think that that's how it should kind of be viewed, I guess.
Well said. Well said. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you to the Human Services Department of Winnebago. They were kind of our second sponsor. The first one that stepped up was the Winnebago Tribal Council, and they sponsored that meal. And heard nothing but good reviews on that meal and everything. Thank you to Winnebago and the Winnebago Tribal Council for doing that. Everybody was well fed.
Yes.
And then the Human Services, they work with families. And every one of those young ones, the family members, whether it be the Gaga, the Choka, the parents, you know what I mean? They had to help them with their regalia. They had to help them with practicing. They had to take them to the powwows, you know, spend the money, the time and everything. And it was kind of a way of giving back and encouraging the parents as well. So it was just a wonderful time, man. And every time I think of that Spotlight special, I just kind of get goosebumps and stuff because it was a good time, you know.
Yes.
And those that didn't get in the Spotlight special, you know, still encouragement. That's one of the things that they said is like they never seen a Spotlight special kind of doing it with the young ones, but the young ones really put on a good show. And yeah, I think that was awesome. So just to recap that, congratulations to our viral winners. Congratulations to the Spotlight winners. And then all the winners, if you want to go and see the posting of who won this year, I know a lot of the powwow people, they like to kind of keep track. See, I think that we're right there. We should have standings, you know, we should have like kind of that, if you ever watch figure skating, it's the same thing, you know, it's a tally of, they got judges and you read them off and all this and that, and you got coaches, you got trainers. You ever see during the second song, all those people coming in there, giving them something to drink and say, hey, make sure you guys, because I tell my son too, I was like, you got to make sure you stay low, shake your head and stuff, because when you get tired, you start to forget about moves. And being a fancy dancer myself in the powwow circuit, I'm retired now, but I just do shows. I'm just a show ending now, but there's just a lot of good things that take place in that, you know, the athleticism, the concentration, and the regalia. Woo, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. And as always, none of it would be possible without the singers. And the singers, wow, they came with it this weekend. All those invited drums, from the host drums to the invited drums, amazing songs were sung this weekend. So good job to that. Anyways, yeah, that's my tantrum. Okay.
So we have 2 more.
Okay, let's do it.
We have 2 more. Running through these winners list real quick. And as DJ Guaranteed mentioned, if you wanted to see that list in its entirety, you can go to the Last Bear Moon Powwow page, where all of these are clipped on there and announced.
We got 2 more.
2 more clips.
Oh no, we'll post those later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we got to get to. The next section.
Before I forget, you gave us the list to print in the Winnebago Indian News of the winners. The drums are not on that list.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
I don't want to forget that.
So, just kind of a FYI, I explained this on the stream too, but there was some drum groups that, how do you say it? Like, we couldn't do a drum contest this year because if we did a drum contest, we would have been a 2-day powwow. Because if you did a drum contest, and you would have to do intertribals for the first set. Okay. And we didn't know how many drum groups. So when you do that, you literally have to go 2 days. And we added the juniors and we added more categories to the golden age. And so to run through all those categories plus to try to do a drum contest would have been too hard. And it would have been too dangerous. Okay, no problem. So what we did is we had invited the drums, and I'll get you that list. Sure. We invited drums this year, and I thought it turned out pretty good. And, you know, I think the committee is going to do a debriefing, and we're always looking ways to improve.
Yes.
You know, this is the first time we tried it. There's going to be a lot of stuff that, yeah. Anyways, so go ahead.
All right, I'm going to just real quick before I go into our next segment, I wanted to plug this back in because I made mention of it, but this is coming from Coach Q himself. And so I mentioned that we do have our sports show. It is bi-weekly, but we're actually going to go back to back with a episode tomorrow live at 5. And so we'll be doing the sports talk show. And so that is going to be here live on Facebook and YouTube. But as I mentioned, this Friday, February 28th at 1 p.m., a special episode of the Big Voice Sports Talk Show with special guest, bare knuckle fighting champion, #1 welterweight contender, our very own Carlos Trinidad Snake. He will be fighting for the welterweight title belt on Friday, April 4th, 2025 in Dubai. He will share with us all the details on his journey in bare knuckle fighting. All fans and community are invited to meet Carlos at the Whirling Thunder Wellness Gym as he will be sent off in a real good Winnebago way. A cedar ceremony will be held at 2:30 p.m. followed by a meet and greet with the upcoming champion. And we wanted to make sure we plugged that in.
The guy that he's fighting is Austin Trout.
Yes.
Austin Trout fought Canelo Alvarez, who is some say in their opinion that he's the pound for pound. They're gonna find out because Carlos is right there. You know what I mean? That Austin Trout, he went to bare knuckle, and he says it's harder than boxing and stuff. But could you imagine? Carlos, he might get the shot. You know what I mean? So let's support him. Let's
Definitely.
do it. Let's do it. That is
and I hope that they have the available pay-per-view information because Dubai is literally the other side of the planet.
Yes.
And so I doubt very much there's going to be a lot of tribal members who make the journey. Plus, you have to have your passport, and it is an Arab nation, so it's not like certain things are acceptable, etc. Blah blah blah. But anyway, pay-per-view will be where it's at.
Yep. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. No.
All right.
Yes.
Are you guys ready then?
We is
Okay, so
ready.
who's playing who now? Is this going to be Tyler and Bethany or Bethany and Garan?
I could be your DJ.
All right.
So
Me and Ty.
Tyler is on in my office, so put your headphones on. Spoiler, 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 okay? All right. Remember, all of the questions have multiple choice, except the tiebreaker if we need it. And then, of course, if you know the answer outright, you get 2 points for that, okay?
Okay.
So, DJ Bethany, are you ready?
I am red eyes.
And like I said, you were warned. Okay, question number 1. R&B icon Keith Sweat will be live in concert in Omaha on March 1st.
Choke a sweat.
Yes. He returns to the Big O after canceling his concert back in November of 2024. Keith Sweat is a singer-songwriter known for his hits like Make It Last Forever, Twisted, and Nobody, just to name a few. His career began A, as lead singer of LSG, which is Lavert Sweat Gill. B, backup singer for Jody Watley. C, lead singer for Harlem-based group Jamala. D, Keith Sweat was always a solo act, debuting with his Make It Last Forever album.
I feel like I've definitely heard us three talk about this before. I know that one time MCBKC did a specific Midnight Love episode about
Yes.
Keith Sweat. And we actually did a replay of that last night.
Oh, okay.
And I also want to go with, it's between LSG and what'd you say, Harlem what?
Harlem-based group Jamala. So the A, B, C, and D. As lead singer of LSG, which is Lavert Sweat Gill. Backup singer for Jody Watley. Lead singer for Harlem-based group Jamala. Keith Sweat was always a solo act, debuting with Make It Last Forever.
I'm gonna go with A.
The lead singer for LSG?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Second question then, in the same realm of music. Pop princess Britney Spears has had her share of romances, both lovely and woeful. Who came first in her love life? Kevin Federline, Jason Alexander, Sam Ashgari, Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
Ken? Doesn't he play Ken?
Yes.
Yes.
Who came first in her love life? Kevin Federline, Jason Alexander, Sam Ashgari, Ryan Gosling.
Federline.
Federline? Okay, that is A. All right. Question number 3, of course, paying attention to what's happening in Indian country. Leonard Peltier was freed from prison by executive decree from President Joe Biden. Choka Joe. Peltier had been imprisoned for his convictions surrounding the 2 murders of FBI agents in the AIM uprisings in 1975. Those murders he denies committing. On which reservation did those shootings occur? Do you know it outright, or do you need the multiple choice?
I do not. I need the multiple choice.
A. Pine Ridge. B. Rosebud. C. Standing Rock. D. Lower Brule. Rosebud.
Oh,
Pine
Tyler.
Ridge. Excuse me. Pine Ridge.
The pressure's on
Rosebud.
for Tyler.
Standing Rock. Lower Brule. I know, right? There's going to be some aunties slapping some. So, on which reservation did the shootings occur?
I'm looking at the comments now.
Pine Ridge, Rosebud, Standing Rock, Lower Brule.
I'm gonna go with man. It's between Pine Ridge and Rosebud. That's what I think. I'm gonna go with Rosebud.
That is B. Okay. Question number 4 then. Thank the heavens that Valentine's Day is over.
Yes.
Yes.
Love that statement.
Just be quiet and pass me them leftover Reese's cups.
Yes.
Roses are the most popular gift to give, however. In order, which colors are presented the most? So there's colors. A, red, white, pink, orange. B, white, red, pink, orange. C, pink, red, white, yellow. D, red, pink, white, yellow. So it's a popularity question. Of course, roses in general are, like it said, one of the most popular gifts, or it is the most popular gift. So in order of the colors, which is the popularity? So A, red, white, pink, orange. B, white, red, pink, orange. C, pink, red, white, yellow. D, red, pink, white, yellow.
I'm gonna go with D.
D? All right. Okay, then the 5th question then. Today there is an event for updating 911 addresses, and you guys spoke about it a little bit earlier on the show. 911 can save lives. It has become a part of American life and society and has even been made fun of in songs. Remember 911 as a joke? When and where was the first ever 911 call made?
Yikes.
They said you were warned.
Pull out my
Do
handy
you know it
dandy
outright,
notebook.
or it's when and where?
I know who I'll call.
There's a
I'd
year
call
and a place.
Auntie Julie if I had a lifeline.
Okay.
I'll take the
A multiple choice then. A, 1969 New York City. B, 1970 Los Angeles. C, 1967 Missouri. D, 1968 Alabama.
Do I get my lifeline since Tyler won last time?
Did she win?
Yeah.
Did she win?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
So, yep. So, when and where was the first ever 911 call made? 1969 New York City. 1970 Los Angeles.
Send help.
1967 Missouri. 1968 Alabama.
Let me
I need a
text Auntie Julie
Big
here.
voicer out here to have my back.
Is there
Oh.
other comments online, or
I
I text Auntie Julie. She said Alabama.
Okay.
You're going to go with Julie?
Was one of them Alabama?
Letter D was 1968 Alabama.
I'll go with them. I'm going to go. Yep, I trust Julie. She's got my back.
Right, okay, that's it. That's the 5 questions.
Okay.
So we'll get Tyler in to the studio to answer these questions as well. Like I said, I kind of went a little bit deep with them, and some of them are very, very like, where did you go for that? But I wanted to have a little bit more of discussion about that. So don't forget, guys, the Winnebago Indian News is currently in the print week. So if you have information that you want to have added into this issue, please get a hold of myself or Tyler, tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com to insert whatever it is that you want to have put in the Winnebago News. And we have a lot of content, so we got to make sure that we have room and the setup. All that is currently underway. All right, Tyler.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody that might continue her streak here. Might continue her streak, depending on how she does and stuff. So, are you ready?
I am.
Let's do this.
Okay, Tyler, remember there are 5 questions. Each one has multiple choice. If you know the answer outright, say it, and then you'll get 2 points for that, okay? All right, so up first then. R&B icon Keith Sweat will be live in concert in Omaha on March 1st. He returns to the Big O after canceling his show back in November of 2024. Keith Sweat is a singer-songwriter best known for his hits like Make It Last Forever, Twisted, and Nobody, just to name a few. His career began, however, A, as lead singer of LSG, Lavert Sweat Gill, B, a backup singer for Jody Watley, C, lead singer for Harlem-based group Jamala, D, Keith Sweat was always a solo act, debuting with Make It Last Forever.
I don't know a dang thing, so I'm gonna.
So
who has the lifeline here?
Bethany had it, and so
Oh,
she
no.
used it. Yes,
You're
Okay.
on a
she
streak.
used it.
Okay, I'm gonna go D.
He was always solo.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is Tyler.
Total guess.
And the answer is, both of you are incorrect. He was lead singer for Harlem-based group Jamala.
That was my next one.
Was
Yes.
I was going to
Bethany guessed lead singer for LSG, Lavert Sweat Gill. So,
Close,
okay, so
close.
it's 0-0. Question number 2 then. Pop princess Britney Spears has had her share of romances, both lovely and woeful. Who came first in her love life? A, Kevin Federline, B, Jason Alexander, C, Sam Ashgari, D, Ryan Gosling. Who was first in her love life?
Can you rename those?
Kevin Federline, Jason Alexander, Sam Ashgari, Ryan Gosling.
Let's go with Jason.
Jason Alexander?
Wait. So, Federline was one of the dancers. The Asghari guy, isn't he like a big investor or something?
I think he was a producer, but
Producer?
something like that, yes.
And then Gosling is Ken from Barbie,
An
right?
actor.
And the
Yes.
Notebook.
And so many others, yeah.
And then
Really?
Jason Alexander.
Noah.
I don't know who's Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander was a teenage childhood friend of hers. And so, final answer,
I don't know with all this backstory now.
Tyler got it right.
Oh,
Total guess.
So,
Yes,
baby
re-
daddy, right? I mean,
No, remember, Jason Alexander was the man that she married in Las Vegas at the Little White Chapel and was married, I think, for 56 hours before getting the marriage annulled.
Oh wow,
So they had a wild weekend in Vegas and then said bye.
man.
And Kevin Federline, of course, did become baby daddy. Yes. And then she also had children with Sam Ashgari. She was never linked to Ryan Gosling.
Oh, wow.
How many kids she got?
I think 3.
3?
I think she has 2 with Federline and 1 with Ashgari. I
Oh,
think. Don't
okay.
quote me on that. So, yep. But
Interesting.
her and Ryan were on the Mickey Mouse Club together.
Ah.
Okay. So Tyler is up 1-0. All right. Question number 3. The pressure's on here, Tyler. So shake it off a little bit, all right?
Scared.
Leonard Peltier was freed from prison by executive decree from President Joe Biden. Choka Joe. Peltier had been imprisoned for his conviction surrounding the 2 murders of FBI agents in the AIM uprisings in 1975. Those murders he denies committing. On which reservation did those shootings occur? Do you need the multiple choice?
Let me get the multiple choice.
A. Pine Ridge, B. Rosebud, C. Standing Rock, D. Lore Brule.
Damn, it's a hard one. Because I kind of group some of those together.
Yeah. We said there's gonna be some aunties waiting to slap some hands, and
Rosebud.
so you're going same thing as Bethany. DJ Bethany said Rosebud as well.
I'll give a little context
Okay.
here. I got a lot of relatives on both Ogallala, Pine
Sure.
Ridge, and Rosebud, but it's like saying Macy in Winnebago.
Yeah.
They're night and day and stuff
Okay.
like that. So
Okay.
go ahead and give them the answer.
The answer is Pine Ridge.
That was my first guess.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut. Yep. And your
I
auntie's
was like,
gonna
no, that video of him cruising through that town, it didn't look too crazy.
be. I've been there. No, just kidding. So yeah, Pine Ridge, and then he was actually born in North Dakota. I forget which one of the reservations. I didn't want to list that though. So just,
So I got a joke. I was gonna tell this at last Bear Moon at the Spotlight, but we have somebody that's the house is out, but he went on vacation,
Oh yeah.
and so Gio, yeah, I ain't gonna say no names or anything like that, but I was gonna say, welcome to that person's celebration, because they had a celebration for him. You know what I
yes.
mean? And then I seen somebody posted, man, when I got a DUI, they didn't have a celebration when I got out.
oh my gosh.
Natives like to tease and stuff.
Yes,
but
indeed.
he's home.
Oh,
Leonard
good.
Peltier.
Okay.
I actually never thought I was gonna see it.
Right. Yep.
I
Or
never
I thought
thought
we were talking about someone else.
No, I thought you meant the local guy, but
I
no.
was like, free him.
No, Leonard Peltier is home, and I think he's been doing quite a bit of press and whatever else too and stuff like that. But it's probably a very strange thing.
Squirrel
1975.
moment, real
Yep.
quick.
Yeah.
I seen a picture of him chilling on like a chair or whatever, and
Yeah.
it looked like my Kushi's house in Siston.
Yeah.
Like those tribal houses.
He's in Oklahoma, isn't he?
No, he's up in Fort
Okay.
Berthold, I think, in North Dakota.
Okay.
So that's where he's originally from. Anyways, keep going.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Question number 4 then. Thank the heavens that Valentine's Day is over. Clap. Just be quiet and pass me them leftover Reese's cups. Roses are the most popular gift to give in the holiday. In order, which colors are presented the most? A. Red, white, pink, orange. B. White, red, pink, orange. C. Pink, red, white, yellow. D. Red, pink, white, yellow.
See.
So C, you're saying pink, red, white, yellow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Bethany got that right. It was D. Red roses, pink roses, white roses, yellow roses.
Throwing
never
this
go
all
wrong.
around.
Yellow
with
roses for
pink
Valentine's
and
Day, though,
red.
huh? That's
Friendship.
Oh.
Yellow
okay.
roses are the color of
Yeah,
friendship. So,
that's true,
all right,
that's
we're
true.
tied 1-1, and it's coming down to question 5. We do have a tiebreaker if we need it. All right, today there was an event for updating 911 addresses. It was spoken about on the show. 911 can save lives. It has become a part of American life and society and has even been made fun of in songs. Remember the song 911 as a joke? When and where was the first ever 911 call made?
I need multiple.
Okay. 1969, New York City. 1970, Los Angeles. 1967, Missouri. 1968, Alabama.
Let's go Missouri.
67, Missouri. So Bethany said 68, Alabama, and she got it right.
Oh, you're
Thanks,
close.
Julie.
You were close.
Julie was
Streak
her
is over.
lifeline. Julie was her lifeline, and she got it right. So Bethany won.
That's a good race.
2-1, yes. So
was
the
good.
tiebreaker question, we always throw it out there because people want to know. So take your guesses, guys. The evil orange clown uses confusion and misinformation to distract. Lately, phrases like Doge and USAID have made the news. Another phrase, DEI, finds itself in the crosshairs of the muckrakers. What does DEI stand for?
Diversity, equity, inclusive, inclusion.
Yeah. I gotta go with Bethany.
Okay. Do you have your own?
Diverse Inclusion Act. Or exclusion. No.
DEI.
I know, I put an I.
Yeah, so actually diversity, equity, inclusion. So it was close.
Equity.
Yes.
And you know about this because
Sure.
you studied political
Yes.
status, but we're in our treaties. We shouldn't be under that
No,
umbrella.
nope, because we are a distinct political entity.
That's right.
We are not a subdivision of another group, etc. So I also like to point this out in these kind of conversations as well. USAID, which of course they're vilifying along with DEI, etc., was actually started under the Kennedy administration. And so all the way back to the mid 1960s, if not early 1960s, because it existed in other forms prior to that, every single president has participated in USAID programs. And so they're trying to say this is something only Biden did or blah, blah. No, it was there since 1964. So
Well,
anyway,
yes. Okay,
the
guys.
more you know.
Thank you to
Yes.
the bandits. Don't forget that election's coming up March 11th. If you're not able to attend the 911 community event today, they're going to have another one on March 11th. And then also, if you need to get a hold of Irita or Autumn, they are up here. 912 North Mission Drive
Yes.
is the building. You'll see that we have our Big Voice sign and Winnebago on the News sign on the side of the building, but they're upstairs,
Yeah,
guys.
go
So
upstairs.
if you have an opportunity, and then thank you to the bandits, and thank you to Sandy and Carla for coming and tell us information about measles.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Get your kids vaccinated.
Yep.
Come on, guys. Don't be one of those anti-vax people. Measles was nearly eradicated worldwide, and until the misinformation got put out there, now it's back. That should be gone.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything else that you want to make mention?
I would like to make mention that if you are interested in being a special guest, you can reach out to us by sending us an email. So you can email me, Bethany.Redhorn, BETHANI.Redhorn at WinnebagoTribe.com or KWTN at WinnebagoTribe.com.
Tyler?
Nothing from me.
Brian?
I want to give a shout out to everybody that was involved in making sure that during the frigid days, everything was taken care of around the tribe. Right now, it's beautiful outside. It almost feels like spring, but a week ago, it was 30 below zero.
Yeah.
And so the snow removal, all that stuff, thank you guys, because your work does not go unnoticed.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. You guys have a good rest of your day. We'll see you out on the Winnebago Talks.